3HL broadcasting live from Radio Row in Las Vegas, and we continue to welcome incredibly interesting guests to the table. Sean Stellato is a sports agent, motivational speaker, and author. You might remember him in some really viral crowd celebrations when his client Danny DeVito had success on the field, and your crowd celebrations went viral way before Taylor Swift, man. You paved the way.
I appreciate you recognizing that. She's been great for the game. We cut out a little small slice, but it was quite the experience. You know, obviously the whole viral thing was great, but it was really – it was great the fact that I've been able to really get more exposure for my other clients as well.
Yeah.
But let's face it, it's we're proud Italians, and the root of all our Italian dreams has been through our heritage. Absolutely. And we talk with our hands, and it was cool. It was great for Tommy. It was great for myself, his family, and for a lot of those Italian American, a lot of those younger athletes that have dreams of playing professional sports or really finding something that fulfills them. Very fortunate and humbled for that opportunity.
So what was that like? Like you got a guy in Tommy that not a lot of people know, right?
Yeah.
That people don't know him well until this happens, and then he lives at home with mom, and you talk about those roots, and then you're viral. Like what a crazy, I guess, kind of couple of weeks to where it built up to what it was. What was it like?
You know what? It's we kind of visualized that script. Or I knew Tommy was an Elite 11 quarterback. Tommy was the MVP of the Oregon Open and beat out Tour. Tommy could have went anywhere, went to Syracuse, and we're not going to point fingers, but they, look at the track record. Yeah. They didn't do very well.
Well, that coach is fired, so.
Yeah, and then reinvented himself at Illinois. So he goes. But in terms of, he hasn't been a baller from that first experience when he beat the Commanders. This kid has huge hands. This kid can rip the ball, processes things well, completion percentage. I have no doubt that he can be a premier quarterback in this league. And my job as his confidant, his sports agent, was to really lobby for him.
Right.
And we got the Heisman from 2018's draft day. And I screamed, I clawed, I yelled, I F-bombed. And it came down to the Commanders and the Giants, and I commend Coach and Joe Sheen. They lobbied and fought for him to be a Giant, and we try to put everything in both baskets. Yeah. And it was a no-brainer going there. And it's a testament to them. They gave us their word there was going to be 3 quarterbacks. Let's face it, it's an injury, driven game, and if things happen, I mean, Tom probably doesn't get that opportunity in New England, right? If Drew doesn't go down against the Jets. So I just, he was almost 90% completion percentage, a lot better than a lot of the O'Connell and the Levy kid, the kid that got drafted a lot higher. And but it's, I've got a lot of guys in my stable that are like Tommy, people never heard of or overlooked. I know talent, and I've been affiliated this game, playing. I'm in my mid-40s for, 39 years playing to being a sports agent. So I was fortunate to experience that, and the whole Italian thing, Sopranos, it's crazy. That was my show in college, and here I am. I'm getting actors from the Sopranos giving shout-outs. I'm like, this is crazy.
Do you feel like you kind of play into that role, though?
You know what? I do in a more of an elegant way.
Yeah.
Not breaking legs or but in terms of, I knew that Monday night. I knew that was going to be an absolute dogfight.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, Packers. So I figured I had to go in there kind of with that little – I went black because, it was a little bit more mafioso. All right, you know what, we're ready to draw a line in the sand. This is our home field. And, let's go and punch him in the mouth. And, he went out there and he just put together that perfect dish that night, 17 for 21.
Right.
And that, seeing him go down on that 2-minute drive and set up the field goal, it was like the 3 tenors. I mean, it was emotional for me because here I'm seeing 18 years of grind, and I'm seeing a quarterback, Italian descent. My guy, his family, and his father kissed me first, so people got to remember that. I didn't make the first move.
Just receptive of it. Hey, let me ask you this. So, how does your background help when it comes to kind of managing these guys, these athletes, and things of that nature? where does it take you? Like the relationships you built moving up, but you still keep those same relationships.
Yeah.
Or all these new.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a concoction of both.
Okay.
And I think with the relationships, they've been cultivated years back. I just think they saw me in my first years, the stuff I was doing, meeting with teams, meeting with scouts. And, the early years, maybe the guys weren't as and then I finally started to check some boxes. But I think at the end of the day, I can't control, a young man meeting with him if he wants to go with, the big firms.
Yeah.
I know they sign with me. No other agent's going to outwork me.
Right.
There's no way. I'll challenge any agent to do that. And I ran Boston Marathon 3 times. I didn't train. I've done some really crazy stuff.
See there, Slay?
See, boys?
No.
Let's go.
I'm going to
Let's
walk
go.
it. We got a marathon coming up. I'm going to walk
That's right.
to get us
See, tell him.
I commend you to that, man. I still got bone pain from.
See what I'm saying?
But I was 2008. I was neck and neck with Lance Armstrong, first 13 miles, and I never trained.
Jeez.
My wife thought she was in the hospital, just gave birth to my Sophia, and I thought she's like, I think he's gonna kill himself. Yeah. So, but I was
He ain't making it out.
Yeah. But that was now I'm getting like. You got to run New York. You got to run the New York Marathon. I'm like, damn, New York. I don't know this. I'm 45 with like a 70-year-old back.
On that hard pavement.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
No
Sean
doubt.
Stellato with us, his sports agent. So I imagine your phone rang off the hook after all that?
It shut down. I couldn't get text messages.
That's
for a day.
amazing.
Really?
I mean, it was absolutely – I still haven't responded to some people. And I feel bad because I think some of the texts went up in the iCloud. I don't but it was look at it – my wife has been my rock, shoulder to shoulder. I mean, she just lost her father 3 days ago, which has been really, really tough.
I'm sorry.
So thank you. And John was a great man. I shed a lot of tears. Both my 2 oldest wrote the eulogy. The service is going to be Sunday. I'm going to head back for. I was down the Pro Bowl. We flew right back. But I got a good team around me. I'm blessed with that. It's been fun, but I feel like an artificial intelligence company. I feel like we're in the first early stages. A lot of mountain to still climb. But it's a fun line of work. But I'll tell you, it's just not all going viral. There's been a lot of heartache along the way.
Got to be a little bit easier, though, with those moments to be able to kind of get through doors and get those phone calls returned.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's funny. I see some people that wouldn't give me the time of day. Now I'm just stroking the ego. They want to have me over for dinner.
There you go.
But I'm like, it's all good. I'm one that maybe 20 years ago when I was watching The Sopranos and I was a little more wired like Chrissy, Florio. But now, I'm gracious. I'm seasoned and, you count your wins, not your losses, and I can't control, people making comments. I live to be curious, not judgmental. And, whatever. People can, as a player, people are going to talk.
Yeah,
I like it when they run their mouth.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. I'll see you in the rearview mirror.
Boca Lupa.
Yeah, yep. So that's kind of the mindset.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the Italian background, obviously, and the whole Sopranos thing.
Yep.
This guy right here played over in Italy.
He looks like a baller.
A long time. I'm curious.
You
if
said
your
tight
past,
end, right?
Yeah.
I thought tight end.
Hey, I'll take that.
Well, we're in Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
I had a little bit of that in
I
high
had to
school.
go that route first because he's like,
That's
no.
right. That's
if I said you played forward, he's like, man, what? I'm a tight end.
Yep, exactly.
If you were to take us back, though, real quick, Italian descent, you would take us back. What's a meal that you would have to have us for?
Oh, I would have to have my grandmother's homemade linguine and my wife's meatballs and my I would say my mother's chicken cutlets.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be a concoction.
I used to kill the cutlets.
Oh,
my God.
And
those my meals
tell
right
where
there.
we're at.
Those
But my daughter's got celiac disease, gluten-free. Which I wrote a picture book with my daughter Sophia. She's a level 10 gymnast.
Look at these beautiful books.
Wait, so you're an agent, an author. You played basketball back in the day. You're like a fashionista on
Played
top
football?
of it. Yeah.
Thank you. I love
Did it all.
My late grandmother, God rest her soul, she, my amazing woman, worked in a men's department store for many years till she was 86 in downtown Boston. She used to take the bus to the train and she taught me how to dress. I wanted to be like Don Johnson as a kid. I used to wear the white sport coat.
Yeah.
My brother used to sleep with his thumb in for a little John Travolta, whatever they call that, in the chin.
The dimple in the chin.
The dimple in the chin. So fashion has been a big part of my heritage as well. And I like to dress, and I luckily got a couple tailors that really like me.
I love the drops of Italian in the book, too. Manja.
Manja.
So where can people get the books? You've got two kids' books, and then you've got a motivational.
Yeah, No Backing Down.
No
It's kind
Backing
of like
Down.
a Remember the Titans meets Rudy. The writer of Age of Adeline just wrote the final script. So we're working hard to bring it to the big screen.
Wow.
It's a phenomenal. I'll challenge any sports story ever written to have characters this colorful. And speaking of basketball, I got a pivot. I got my main man here,
Okay.
Chris Manhertz, starting tight end for the Denver Broncos. Just walked in the building. But you can get him at SeanStellato.com or Instagram at Sean Stellato, SES. And they're great reads, and they got great messages as well.
Appreciate that.
Got any offensive linemen on your client list? The
Yeah,
Tennessee Titans are
needs,
looking.
Yeah, unfortunately, the linemen have. I've got a center that's a little undersized, but smart, and was Tommy's center in high school. That I think would be an interesting camp guy. He'd be tough to cut, but
Titans, you hear it. You hear it here, baby.
yeah.
They listen.
I know.
We're scouting.
Yeah, we are.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'll tell you this right now. I got an unbelievable linebacker for this year's draft, Elias Neal out of Marshall. Very instinctive, lightning fast. He's a ball hawk. I got a cornerback. I'm telling you right now, he's going to play for a long time. He's going to run a 4.28 to a 4.31. 20 pass breakups at Easton, Illinois, Sean Payton's alma mater.
Wow.
Legit dude. And then I got a kid, Keandre Swoops out of UAB. Safety is another one. He's a heated missile to take. And then I got a big tight end, 6'6", 250 out of Rutgers, Sean Bowman. We got some legit guys right there I'm excited about. And I got a quarterback, Pee Wee Carter out of West Florida. Remember that. He's got an absolute slingshot for an arm. And you won't forget the name Pee Wee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So West Florida. But I appreciate your time, guys. And
Appreciate you.
This has been fun, and God bless you. And get some good Italian food out here.
Yeah, always, baby, always.
On the station. Make sure the station's covering that.
Don't you worry. You know I'm on top of it.
All right.
Appreciate you,
Thank you.
Sean.
Unbelievable, man.
Same here, guys. All the best.
3HL 104.5 The Zone.